All right, let's deploy a headless Logstash on Kubernetes. Okay, if you know already what Logstash is, if you use already Logstash in production, might benefit um, from a couple tips I'm going to give you in this video. Let's talk a little bit about Logstash itself. So Logstash basically allows you to receive data from different data sources. It will then uh, process this data, right, in form of events. Say uh, if you have log files, if you have um, syslog events from several servers, right, out there, um, you process each in one of those events. Logstash will assemble those events into packets, into batches of events, and send to Elasticsearch. It can obviously send uh, to different outputs other than Elasticsearch. In fact, if you take a look at in here, the output plugins, we have a bunch, I would say, more than 50 in here. Um, and inputs we can receive from beats, which is this image in here. It's receiving from beats, file beat, metric beat, or Elastic Agent. Um, it can pull data from Elasticsearch itself. It can read from files, you name it, right? Kafka, S3, yeah, what have you, right? Okay, what happens when you have too many events to process? You want to scale that up, and even though we have ways of making that process of scaling that up uh, easy or easier, uh, like for instance, having it run in Docker, for instance, right? We have in here configuring Logstash for Docker, running Logstash on Docker. Um, there's still not a guide on running Logstash on Kubernetes, which will basically allow you uh, to scale that up with just changing one variable. I have one Logstash instance. I want to have 10. Just change it. It will create several replicas. The problem with that is that usually this, which we call Logstash pipeline, it's an ETL pipeline, right? This needs to be bundled with Logstash, like as a volume or inside the container itself. You repackage the container. Uh, there's actually a much easier way of doing that, which is by leveraging centralized pipeline management, which is consists of you basically point Logstash to a Elasticsearch host. I'm going to use Elastic Cloud, and you're going to tell this Logstash to fetch the pipeline's definitions, right? More than one from this cluster. The advantage of that is that you just change it using Kibana and then deploy, and you have all your Logstash instances updated automatically, right? That's really, really powerful. And that's what I'm going to show today. I have prepared this manifest. It have everything that you need in there. Uh, if you have a Kubernetes cluster running on whatever provider you want, uh, you can just apply that. You just need to change that specific line in here, which is obviously the API key that we are going to create this API key in our cluster. This API key will be fed um, into this config map using a environment variable, which is right here. That's the URL of my cluster, right? And those are the pipelines that I'm going to fetch my pipeline star. I'm just going to create my pipeline one. And then we are creating a load balancer in there. It will assign an IP, a public IP address, and will redirect those external ports over to my Logstash ports, all of them. And I'm creating just one instance, right? Replicas one. Don't care about revision history limit, but yeah. Okay, let's create our API key. Let me switch to Elastic Cloud. Right here. Yeah, okay. What I need to do, this is previous stuff. I'm going to create an API key that will have the monitor role and manage Logstash pipeline role. And also, I will be reusing this API to actually write to Elasticsearch. You can separate that if you want to. But I'm going to add, and I'm going to use a data stream to write. This API key will basically give you write access to any data stream that characterizes as a logs data stream, right? Let's create this API. So we have the ID in API key in here, and Elasticsearch will obviously give me it already encoded conveniently in base64 format. Just have to change it in here. All right, let's apply this. CTL. Well, I have nothing in this cluster actually. Just get all in here. I have nothing. Just yeah. It's just a cluster. Let's apply. It will create all my definitions in there: the secret, the deployment, the config map, and the service. Okay. Okay, so the container is creating at the moment, and we are just waiting for an external IP to be assigned to my service. So the container is running. Let's check out the logs actually. What was it? Yeah, just getting the logs of anything that's tagged as Logstash. So those are my logs. So Logstash is telling me right now that it has no configuration. So it has no configured pipeline in there because I have not created the pipeline called my pipeline something, right? Okay, but the container is running. It's good. Let's see if we have an IP. Yeah, we do. That's IP. Okay, have everything I need. Logstash is deployed. Logstash is just waiting for a pipeline. Let me just actually just leave the logs in there and go back to my Elastic Cloud cluster. And down here in management, stack management, under Logstash pipelines, I can define now a pipeline called my pipeline one. I will define it, the input, output, and filter as copy this. Okay, what I have here, I'm telling this Logstash, I will tell this Logstash to open up the port 5045. This port is already mapped. I'm protecting it with a user password in here. Let's not focus on that now, but I can protect with a user and password. I can add TLS as well. I will not right here. Let's not focus um, on just the pipeline deployment. That's my log dev. That's the name of my cluster, right? Blog dev, yes, for Elasticsearch. You see that in my search bar in here, I have blog dev KB for Kibana. The URL should be yes. Okay, SSL true. And API key, I'm reusing it. And here, if you are not using, if you are already a Logstash user and you are writing directly to indices, you should strongly consider changing to Datastreams. I think I'm going to do a whole video about using Datastreams or migrating from indices to Datastreams. The thing is, you are going to get, by using Datastreams, and I'm going to show you that, by using a data stream, you are going to get aliases. The indices will roll over. Index lifecycle management by default, and you'll get the standardization as well. This data stream will be just called, just like it in here, logs. It will be called logs my data stream dev, right? You cannot, since you're writing logs, should be called logs anyway, because that's the type. That are only 3 types. So logs my data stream dev, I can use that as an index name. It's really handy. Okay, let's just deploy that and I'll show you. So my pipeline is deployed. My Logstash is telling, okay, pipeline is running 1. It's my pipeline 1. And I have a HTTP port opened in here on that service, right? Let's try. I had a curl in here. Yeah, okay. So to test this pipeline, you just post that IP port 5045 a JSON, right? Logstash will reply with an OK, right? Let me send another one. So Logstash just replied with an OK, HTTP 200. Good, it accepted. And it's telling me that this JSON might conflict with some predefined fields that they have that you just should be careful. But it's outputting that it accepted. Okay, so those 3 events that I sent should be already in here. Let me go to Discover. We have the logs in here. I have a bunch of logs. They are I have several data streams for logs in here. I'll just filter data stream, data set, my data stream. So there they are, my 3 events, right? And I have my events.original, that's my JSON. And then I have the hello world. Notice that this is a keyword field by default. Hello, it will autocomplete to world. Good. It's already a keyword. If you are already a Logstash user, notice that I didn't have to set up a template. I didn't have to set up. I didn't have to create an index with the right alias. All this stuff that we needed to do before, just by data streams, just will simplify your life so much. Uh, and right here in the index management, I'll see the data stream is in here. So logs, my data stream dev. I have two indices. Uh, two indices below this data stream. So data stream is like an abstraction for indices. You don't need to worry about the low level indices. If you want to see, you can see indices in here. Just click include hidden indices. You will see somewhere in here the logs my data stream. That's today 0002. This is the type of the indices that this data stream will be creating. Back to our example. I think I will have in here the host.ip. That's the host, that's the container IP, right? Because, suppose that I need to deal with a high throughput. Let's do something here. Let's just make a loop. So just run that forever. So to be okay. So it's like sending those events over and over, right? And let's change from replicas 1 to replicas IMO 4. Get qctl. I have just one pod, just zoom here. I have just one pod, right? When I apply this, just increase the amount of pods, right? My old pod will be killed, and I'll have those three. This will actually just be updated. I'll have 4 running in the end. And they will be all load balanced on that same IP. Means my curl in here just sending a bunch of events. It would not stop working, right? I might not have the amount of memory needed. That's another thing we need to take care too. So I am asking 1 gigabyte of memory per container. Half a gigabyte will be, yeah, you know what? Let me just add more nodes to this Kubernetes cluster. So the problem is I'm reserving 1 gigabyte per pod, right? Logstash needs a minimum of half a gigabyte, so 512 megabytes of RAM to operate. That's considerably more than a FileBeat or Elastic agent, right? We just need a couple dozens of megabytes to run. Logstash is heavier. And I'm requesting, much was it? Yeah, I'm requesting 1 gigabyte. Okay. Yeah, nodes. So I've added 3 more. Yeah, so I have 4 nodes now. Scribe. Yeah. Yeah, they're looking much better now. Okay, kubectl, all. So I have my 4 Logstash pods running, and in Kibana, see the host.ip? Yeah, see, I have different hosts in here now processing my loop. All right. That's basically it. I hope you have enjoyed this. Hope you make use of Logstash with Kubernetes and have fun and use Datastreams. Bye.